Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Trinadapi Sunichena Tarariva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Harinama Harinama Harinamaiva Kevalam Kalau Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata. So how many were here yesterday for the festival? So yesterday you heard about Lord Nrisingha, and with your permission, I would also like to speak about Lord Nrisingha. If you give me a Hare Krishna, then I know it's okay. Thank you. You're very merciful. So this katha of Nrisingha and Prahlad is very, very dear to devotees. Devotees can identify in many ways with the situation of Prahlad Maharaj. So, I would like to speak to you the story, the history of Prahlad Nrisingha. And in order to do that, we must first chant the 12-syllable mantra. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami narrates the Nrisingha Leela, the pastime of Lord Nrisingha. But the scene is interesting. The scene is during the time of Krishna. Maharaj Yudhisthira is performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. And at that Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna had to kill Shishupal. And everyone saw that Krishna took his Sudarshan Chakra, decapitated Shishupal, and then they saw the soul, the Atma of Shishupal, like a meteor, enter into Krishna's body. And everybody, this was amazing. And Narada Muni was situated very near Yudhisthira, and so Yudhisthira asked him, what did I just see? Can you explain? So Narada began to explain how this was Shishupal's third birth as a demon. Originally, Shishupal was one of the doorkeepers, Jai Vijay, of Vaikuntha. But Jai Vijay were cursed by the 4 Kumaras because of their offense. So they were given the choice to enter the material world 7 births as devotees or 3 births as demons. And they were very attached to their service, so they wanted to get back very quickly. So they chose, yes, we will play the part of the Lord's enemy, and he will kill us 3 times, and then we'll come back to our positions. So Narada explained that before Shishupal, he was the demon Ravana, who Krishna killed in the form of who? Lord Ramachandra. And then the first demon birth was Hiranyakashipu. And the way Narada explains now to Yudhisthira this history of Hiranyakashipu is the occasion of a funeral, because Hiranyakashipu's younger brother, technically younger, Hiranyaksha, he was killed by Krishna in the form of Varaha, the boar. And so Hiranyakashipu, he conducted the funeral ceremony. And it's very interesting. If you read this section, what Hiranyakashipu speaks at the funeral, you would ask him to come and sit and speak, because it is straight out of Bhagavad Gita. Hiranyakashipu explained the basics of spiritual life, how we're not the body, that the soul is eternal, we should have no friends, and he was speaking just like any ISKCON devotee would speak from Bhagavad Gita. But the problem is, he doesn't believe a word he says, because he's just being a politician. A politician speaks according to time, place, and circumstance, whether he believes it or not. Because what's the proof? What's the proof? So even though Hiranyakashipu was advising his mother and sister-in-law and all the relatives, oh, do not lament, for the soul is eternal, and this and that. Immediately after that, Hiranyakashipu gathers his henchmen and he says, I am very angry with this Lord Vishnu. He has taken the side of the demigods. He has given up his neutrality position. And I will now search out this Lord Vishnu, and I will kill him, because he has killed my brother, who was so fond of sucking blood, as if that was a great quality. Yet those words are actually used in the Bhagavatam. Very fond of sucking blood. So now you know what's a demon. They like blood. We'll hear more about the demon class a little later. So Hiranyakashipu sent his henchmen, his followers, and told them, go down to earth, and I want you to harass the saintly persons, the Brahmins, the Vaishnavas. I want you to harass them. And I want you to go and kill the cows and stop all the Vedic sacrifices, because Hiranyakashipu knew that this is what is pleasing to Vishnu. Brahmins, Vaishnavas, cows, Vedic sacrifices. This is pleasing to Lord Vishnu. And Hiranyakashipu wanted to cause pain. So he told his people, go to earth and cause all kinds of disturbances. Harass the people of earth. Then Hiranyakashipu went searching, looking for Lord Vishnu to avenge the death of his brother. He went everywhere. He went everywhere, but he could not find Vishnu, because Vishnu was thinking, oh, wherever I go, this guy's going to follow me? I don't got time for this. Where will I go where he'll never find me? I'll enter his heart. He'll never look for me in his own heart. That's another quality of a demon. A demon never thinks that God is actually his dearmost friend, his closest friend in the heart. So, Lord Vishnu became invisible, and when Hiranyakashipu inhaled, Lord Vishnu entered his nostril and hid himself in the heart of Hiranyakashipu, knowing he would never look for him there. So Hiranyakashipu went here, there, everywhere, and he couldn't find Vishnu, so he said, he must have died. And that's another big mistake. Vishnu cannot die. Krishna cannot die. In the Krishna book of Prabhupada's Krishna book, towards the end, there are these different excellences. And one of the excellences of Krishna, he never dies. That's why Krishna is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, infallible. You cannot kill God. Impossible. But Hiranyakashipu thought since he can't find Vishnu, he must have died. Then Hiranyakashipu started to think, I want to be the topmost person in the universe. Hiranyakashipu knew that the Creator, Lord Brahma, had achieved his exalted post by performing severe penances and austerities. So Hiranyakashipu said, I will also perform extremely severe austerities and penances, and I will usurp Brahma, and I will achieve the most powerful position throughout the three worlds. So what did Hiranyakashipu do? He decided to stand on his tippy toes. Have you seen the ballerinas? They can stand on their tippy toes. So Hiranyakashipu did that with his arms outstretched like this for many, many, many years. And because he was performing this severe austerity, heat was coming and his head started to blaze fire. And talk about global, this is the original global warming. Because the demigod, that's not a joke, this is described in the Bhagavatam. The demigods were becoming choked and disturbed by this smoke coming from the fiery head Hiranyakashipu. So, performing austerities and penances for many, many years, his whole body became eaten by insects and ants and different kinds of worms. And all that was left was the skeleton. But he kept his soul inside that skeleton. He tolerated. And soon his body became covered by an anthill. But that fire was still smoking from his head. The demigods went to Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is the chief of all the demigods. And they said, please, do something. Please, we can't tolerate this global warming. Please. See, Brahma didn't deny it, unlike our politicians. Brahma did not deny it. Yes, I am very aware of what is happening. So Brahma came on his swan airplane. And it took a while, but then he saw that fire coming from the anthill. And Brahma he has a water pot, like my friend here, Dharma Setu. You sometimes have a water pot. When you do yajna, you have to have kamandulu, right? So in his water, what do you have in your water pot? Yes, Ganga Jal, transcendental water. So Brahma took from his water pot and sprinkled the anthill. And when he sprinkled the anthill, Hiranyakashipu emerged. But now he has a body, a youthful, rejuvenated body. A body that can withstand even Indra's thunderbolt, which is considered the most invincible weapon. But this body now that he has achieved is invincible. And Hiranyakashipu offers his obeisances to Lord Brahma flat on the ground and praises Lord Brahma, practically calling him the Supreme Lord, practically describing him as God, simply worshiping him. And Brahma says, yes, I have been defeated by your austerities, and I'm ready to give you any benediction you want. So Hiranyakashipu said, yes, I want to become immortal. And Brahma said, that I cannot give you, for even I am not immortal. So then Hiranyakashipu said, all right, I don't want to die in the daytime or the nighttime. Brahma said, so be it. I don't want to die by any weapon. I don't want to die by any creature created by you. Who's not created? By Lord Brahma. We won't spoil it. But everyone, he's our great, everybody comes from Lord Brahma. He's the original first created being. I don't want to die inside, outside. So he gave condition after condition after. He thought he had an ironclad contract. He thought he had every conceivable way he could die. Brahma said, Tatastu, let it be, so be it. So now Hiranyakashipu starts to terrorize the universe. So he's the original terrorist. All these terrorists, they come from the Hiranyakashipu Sampradaya. He is the original terrorist. So Hiranyakashipu is now the most powerful person in the whole universe. And all the demigods, Indra, Chandra, Surya, everyone has to bow down and obey Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu sits on the throne of Indra because Indra is the king of heaven. And so all the demigods have to, and whenever Hiranyakashipu sees the demigods, he verbally chastises them. He humiliates them, berates them. Narada said even he had to kowtow to Hiranyakashipu. Only 3 persons were exempt: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of course, we know what happened to Vishnu. Where was he? Yes. But Brahma and Shiva, they did not have to kowtow to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu was enjoying in the heavenly gardens of Indra, enjoying nicely. And it's described by Narada describes that Hiranyakashipu always had bloodshot eyes, another symptom of a demon. Why do they have bloodshot eyes? Always drinking liquor and wine, always intoxicated. So Hiranyakashipu is now done everything in the universe topsy-turvy. Everything was now being sent to him. All sacrifices, everything was for his satisfaction, not for Vishnu's satisfaction. No, everything was centered upon him. He reversed the whole universal law and order. Everything was going to him. But the problem was, and this is such an important item that Narada Muni points out, that even though Hiranyakashipu was the number 1 person in the universe, unchecked in his authority, nobody could defeat him, he was still unhappy. That's very important lesson. That you may become big something, doesn't mean you're going to be happy. And Narada says, why was Hiranyakashipu not happy? Because he could not control his senses. And that is the secret to happiness. Learning how to control the senses. If you can master the art of not being the slave of the senses, but being the master of the senses, now you can be happy. So this is something all of us should think about. Yes, we have to work, we have to earn in the material world, but we should understand This is not the source of our happiness. The real source of our happiness is controlling the senses and executing Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare I don't hear this side. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That was worth the price of admission. So, the demigods, now being harassed at every turn, they went to Lord Brahma and said, how long is this going to go on? We can't tolerate this anymore. How long? Brahma said, we shall go and petition Lord Vishnu. And so they petitioned Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu indicated that he was well aware of what was going on. He knew everything about this. He said, it's going to go on for some time, but Hiranyakashipu will make a tragic mistake. He will try to kill his own son, who is my great devotee, and that will be his downfall. So when the demigods heard that, they felt some relief. Okay, it's just a matter of time. So Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons, and one of them was the great devotee Prahlad. And Narada describes the characteristics of Prahlad. Those of you who have read the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, the last section of chapter 12, talks about the qualities and symptoms of a devotee. And that is a perfect description of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, even though he is the son of a demon, he is a first-class devotee of the Lord. So Hiranyakashipu has his school, a very special university of demons, and he has his 2 teachers, Shanda and Namarka. And Shanda and Namarka are the sons of Hiranyakashipu's demon, a guru. Hiranyakashipu, yes, even the demons have a guru. So Shukracharya was the guru of the demons. So Shanda and Namarka were in charge of teaching Prahlad, and Hiranyakashipu wanted Prahlad to become just like him. That's natural. Every father is like that. Every father wants his son to be like his old man, yes. So he wanted Prahlad to learn all the great materialistic arts and sciences. So one day, Hiranyakashipu called for his son, Prahlad! And Prahlad came, very meek, mild, humble, 5-year-old boy. My dear boy, you have been in the school now. Tell me what you have learned in school. And the 5-year-old boy said to his father, I'm not learning anything in that school. In fact, someone like you, who has uncontrolled senses, you should go to the forest. In fact, you should go to Vrindavan. You should execute Krishna consciousness. And Hiranyakashipu can't believe what's coming out of his own son's mouth. He's talking as if he has been brainwashed by the enemy. So Hiranyakashipu calls the 2 teachers. What are you doing? What are you teaching my son? And they said, we've not taught him any of this. And they also chastised Prahlad. And they said, Prahlad, we never taught you this kind of stuff. So Hiranyakashipu tells the teachers, okay, take my boy. Now be very careful. Maybe there are some devotees, some Vaishnavas who are doing covert operations and they're spoiling my son. Be very careful. I want my son to grow up properly like me. So Shanda and Amarka, they chastised Prahlad, and they said, we are going to instruct you properly in the ways of the demoniac civilization. But Prahlad, he is fixed in his Krishna consciousness. And whenever there is the lunchtime, the teachers would go and take lunch. Prahlad, the other boys that were in the school, they would go and play. But Prahlad would not play. So the boys, they're innocent. They came to Prahlad. Prahlad, why don't you play with us? And Prahlad said, I've got something really good. I'm going to now teach you something. It's called Krishna consciousness. And Prahlad teaches them how to chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everybody, come on, boys and girls. Hare Rama, Hare. We're all in Prahlad's school. Rama Rama, Hare. Clap your hands and sing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And the children,